Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 1 of Kid Cosmic. This is a donation reward, as everything is this week, because it is a donation reward appreciation week. And that means everything we are reacting to is a donation reward, and 10 of the shows specifically are new. They will not be continued right away, but they will be continued in the future at some point. Um, but yeah, we'll also be doing the donation reward shows that we currently have in our active slots. And of course, movies, because we do the movies every week anyway. They're already donation rewards, easy to add into this as well. But this is one of those new shows. We are going to be reacting to the first episode and just seeing how it is. Just a preview for what's to come in the future when we get back to this at some point. It'll also help determine what order we're going to do a lot of these ones that have been on the back burner in. It's just a way to kind of give back to you guys and to show that yes, these shows are still in the plans. They are still on the schedule. They will be coming in the future when I can get to them. So, that being said, like I said, today we are getting to Kid Cosmic. This is a donation reward for Gizmo, and this is a series that I have heard quite a bit about going into. This is a not in terms of plot or character or anything, but in terms of, its creation, I guess you could say. Because this is a series that is created and produced for Netflix by Craig McCracken and Lauren Faust. For those who don't know, Craig McCracken and Lauren Faust are behind some of the most classic, awesome cartoons that we remember from our childhoods, such as Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Both of these were created by Craig McCracken, with Lauren helping out, Lauren being Craig's wife. Lauren Faust also, in 2010, created My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the fourth generation of the franchise. She is also known more recently than that for Superhero Girls, a DC property. And while the latter of which of these, or the last of these, is not my thing personally, I guess you could say, pretty much everything else has been. Like, their works have been fantastic. I grew up with Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home. Like, that was my shit growing up. On top of that, you have MLP, which changed my life, literally saved my life. For those who are new, the short version of the story is I was in an extremely bad depression in 2013, and I ended up kind of randomly coming across a fan video online, saw a reaction to that fan video, and then had to check out the series just to see why this person was reacting that way. And it ended up saving me from my depression and suicidal attempts at the time. I've talked about it in more detail in various places on the channel, but yeah. So, there is that. But it's just a lot of great works under their belt. And Lauren Faust even worked on The Iron Giant. I think she was doing storyboards or something, but still, that's a pretty big deal nonetheless. That movie is amazing, and it's considered a classic by so many, myself included. So, now we have their new series, Kid Cosmic. I don't really know anything about, like I said, the plot or the characters or anything. I assume it has to do with space, based on the title. Cosmic gives the idea of space. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know. Also don't know like what the kind of humor and style it's going to go for is going to be like. I guess we'll have to see. Um, I've heard some people say that they like this show, but I haven't heard a lot of comments on it, one way or the other. It's one of those shows that I think because it's on Netflix, just unfortunately never got a lot of attention. There's unfortunately a lot of examples of that. Honestly, She-Ra is probably the biggest Netflix animated series, and even that compared to televised stuff didn't do as well. Like televised stuff, just it's more well known. It's more wide reaching. Um, Stuff like that. Even the big ones like She-Ra and Voltron just don't make it as big because one, not everyone has Netflix, and two, even those who do, it's like don't think about that stuff there as much. And maybe that'll change. Maybe that has been changing to some degree and will continue to change, but it's not going to be like perfect overnight. It's going to take time for people excuse me, for people to start seeing how good this animation can be. And that way we won't get stuff canceled early like Dead End Paranormal Park and whatnot. So that being said, I also don't know how many seasons it says. I can check this real quick. So there's 10 episodes in the first season according to this. And it's listed at 3 seasons. And I just accidentally clicked on it. I was looking through the seasons and I wanted to scroll down. Looks like season 3 has 6 episodes. And season 2 has 8. So each season has had less episodes. And I wonder why that is. I wonder if like Netflix did that because it's not like getting a lot of views. Or if maybe it was done because it was like ordered all together and they just split it up into different seasons, because Voltron did that, I know. I think She-Ra did that too for a couple of the seasons. They split like a season into 2 of them. If that is the case, then alright, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a lot of shows nowadays that only have 6 episodes, so that's not a big deal in a season. So that's not really a big deal. But yeah, I don't know what to expect going into this. But hopefully I end up really liking it. Hopefully, I mean, with it being Craig McCracken and Lauren Faust, I hopefully should. It sounds like a good combination there. So yeah. I'm excited to get into this, so we're gonna do so. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that all being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I looked it up. The voice of Hank Hill is Mike Judge. And Carl in this was voiced by Keith Ferguson. I don't know if he's, like, if he was trying to do a similar voice to Hank Hill, but it was very similar. It's not exact, but it's very similar. That's why I was, like, kind of wondering a little bit if it was him. So this was very Craig McCracken. Like, if you've seen Powerpuff Girls, if you've seen Foster's Home, like, this is very reminiscent of those. This is very much that exact same style, the humor, the energy, but it feels more modern, I guess you could say, is just the safest, easiest way to put it. It feels more modern in regards to it seems like it's going to have an actual story to it. Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home had like these little mini stories at times, but they were mostly episodic. This one seems like it's going to be more serialized, and that's good. I'm fine with that. But it definitely leads to a bit of a different feel than what I'm used to with Craig McCracken stuff. Because I'm used to the more episodic stuff. But again, it's not bad, and I'm not saying that I'm like worried about that necessarily. I'm just noting that it is different. Let me check something here. Yes. Okay. Joe is probably my favorite character right now based off this first episode because she reminds me of Gloria Sato from Big City Greens. And I can't believe I always forget her name. I always forget Gloria's name, and I really feel ashamed by that. I should remember it easier because she has the same last name as Asami from Legend of Korra, so I should at least remember that easier. But it's like, I can never remember it. Maybe it's just because it's been a bit since I last reacted to Big City Greens. I do need to get back into that, but it's just, I don't know how I keep forgetting that. But Joe is very reminiscent. There's obviously some differences, like Gloria lives in Big City and she moved there for the kind of opportunities and stuff that she would get, while Joe works and lives in a small town and wants to go to the big city, any big city really. So they're kind of in like a different position, but their personalities, attitudes, kind of desires and wishes are all the same. There's very much a connection to be made there, and considering Gloria is my favorite character in Big City Greens, it's no surprise that I like Joe in this. Then we have our main character of Kid Cosmic. I guess that's actually his name, because even his grandfather called him Kid. Unless just like that's just what everybody just calls him. I don't know. But when I first saw him, like I had seen what he looked like before. Just because I had seen like some promotional images and stuff for this series. When I first saw his design, he read to me as a character who's going to be extremely annoying. In fact, it's kind of the main reason I never checked out this show before. Because I felt like I felt like Kid was going to be just this super annoying, unlikable character. And after watching this first episode, I love him. I absolutely love him. He's exactly what he needs to be for this series. For the plot that we have going on here, he's imaginative, he's creative, he's surprisingly clever, he's fun, he's likable, he has a good heart and genuinely wants to protect people. Like, he's awesome. He's just a great lead character. I also like how he and Joe work off of each other. Obviously, he kind of has this dumb kid energy, so she kind of like helps out with the plans and stuff, clearly. But she like craves this adventure, and he gives her that. Even just before all of this happened, he was giving her a sense of excitement and fun in this droll and dreary town. She was so bored with her life, and that was giving her something to look forward to. And I like that dynamic. Also, we see that Joe's mom is like a lot more straight-laced, but not necessarily like mean or anything. Like she even clearly agrees, even though she doesn't say anything, she clearly agrees to letting Joe help out because it keeps Kid out of the diner and stuff. Which she clearly is very, like, hyped about. She clearly loves doing this diner business. But Joe just wants something else for her life, and that's fine. We don't really get to know too much of the other characters that much. Carla, Carlos, and Carl are just kind of there. Like, they seem nice, and they listen to Joe's wishes, like, with open ears. They humor Kid and everything. It's like, yeah, they're nice, but we don't really get to know anything about them here. Same with the grandfather. It's like he seems to be cool and everything, but nothing, like, really in depth gone into. And then you have this other little girl who wants to play and be friends with Kid, and I can't remember her name now. It was, like, said at the end. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. See it in just a second here. Rosa. So we also have Rosa, who's this little girl, likes Kid, wants to hang out and play with him. But she's very much a little kid. Like, I would say Kid is probably, I don't know, like 12 years old, somewhere around there, 12, 13. Joe is probably 16 to 17, I would say. She's, like, getting ready to leave the nest kind of age, very clearly based on what we see in this episode. Like, she's preparing for when she can leave and go off on her own. That's how she reads. Rosa reads as maybe, like, 6. Like, maybe half of Kid's age. Maybe a little older than that. Maybe upwards of 8, but I don't see her being 10 or anything. She's definitely younger than 10. I would say that for sure. So if she does end up becoming part of the group and using one of the rings, I'm wondering how that's going to end up going with her being so much younger. And then that still leaves 2 rings, because there's 5 total. We have Kid using the flight ring. We have Joe using the portal. If Rosa does join, she'll probably use the growing, shrinking ring, the one that clearly caused her to turn giant here. So then there's 2 rings left that are unaccounted for at the moment that we don't know what they do, and we don't know, like, beyond that, who's going to use them. The only other major characters that we've seen in this that could possibly be it would be the grandfather and Joe's mom. But I don't see either of them using a ring. And I definitely don't think it's going to be Carl, Carlos, or Carla. No, not at all. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I went into this not knowing really what to expect at all, because I didn't know anything about the plot or the characters or whatnot. I just knew that it was Craig McCracken, Lauren Faust. I knew what Kid looked like specifically. Like, I went into this pretty damn blind. And I came out of it, honestly, I would say an early fan. Like, I can't say where it's going to go. I can't say that I'm going to remain, like, huge into it. But for right now, based off of just this first episode, I'm into it. So, that being said, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this first episode of Kid Cosmic? Let me know, and thank you again to Sweet Venom for donating for this. Or not Sweet Venom, for Gizmo, sorry. I apologize for that mistake. Thank you to Gizmo for donating for this. Venom donated for the other one we are doing today, Camp. So thank you to Gizmo. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. For now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.